Okay, thank you everyone for joining me this morning on a beautiful Monday morning. Hopefully you get to go outside and enjoy the weather today. So today I wanted to tell you guys about an amazing trip for the 7th and 8th grade students that is coming up this spring in March. So it is a trip to New York City, and it is an arts trip. There are lots of benefits to traveling. So I just wanted to start by letting you know some of those great benefits for students. So it expands their worldwide view, it expands their personal growth, it increases their confidence and their competence, lots of life skills that they learn while they're traveling. It helps them demonstrate their maturity and their worldliness. It helps them be able to navigate through airports, manage their money, be able to pack appropriately, all the fun things that you need to know for traveling. And the company that we're traveling with is the Explorica company. We have previously used them this year, and they did a trip to Washington, D.C. for about 25 students. And they went with Mr. Khan and Mr. Rowan and had an amazing time. It was the same length, 4 days. So this company is great. They have 50 years in student travel. They've done more than 1 million travelers across the world, and they do tours to 75 countries on all 7 continents. They are fully inclusive, and they have great quality hotels, meals, and they provide amazing activities for the students. I've also heard the meals at the hotels were great. They provide the tour directors, so they're professionally trained. They specialize in student travel and have done tours with students before. They're with the group 24/7, so they're the local experts that bring in the information from the different museums, and they guide the tours through the museums, so that way they get a full-on tour experience the whole time they're there. They also walk around the city with them when they're looking through the city and through the different parks and give them all the history of everything. They have a great safety record, and we had a fantastic time this last spring, and there were no issues that we had. They have a lot of support and lots of options for calling them and getting a hold of them when we needed to, and we're a very responsive company. They also offer some protection for the travelers. They've got 24/7 emergency support. They also have an option for a tour diary, so you could get daily tour updates from your student as they're traveling. And then they also have different coverage plans for traveling in case you can't make it or your student gets sick or something unfortunately happens. So here's the fun part. Here's where we're going. So we're going to New York City. The dates of the trip are March 16th through March 19th. That is over spring break. So it is not a mandatory trip. It's just an opportunity for students if they would like to participate. They're going to go walk through Times Square. They're going to see the Broadway theaters. They're going to tour the Metro Art Museum. They're going to walk through Central Park. They're going to see Strawberry Fields and the John Lennon Memorial. And here's a little bit of a breakdown for the tour itinerary, and it goes day by day. It is 4 days, 3 nights. Usually they try to book like a red-eye flight, so that's the only down part, but it's kind of fun to get everybody to meet up in the middle of the night and hop on the plane together. So day 1, they meet their tour director. They get some lunch. They walk around Midtown, and they do a walking tour. They get to see Rockefeller Center, St. Patrick's Cathedral, Times Square, the Grand Central Terminal. They get to have dinner at the hotel, and then they do the Top of the Rock visit later on that evening. For day 2, they'll get up, they'll have a great hearty breakfast at the hotel. Then they're going to do a Broadway workshop, and they get to go and tour behind like the Broadway theaters and get to see all the insights and everything to that. And then they go to Lower Manhattan, and they have a guided sightseeing tour there where they go to the Trinity Church. They do Wall Street. They get to see the 9/11 Memorial. They visit Chinatown and Little Italy. Then I'm assuming they're going to stop somewhere along that way for lunch and have a great lunch. The only thing that is not covered in the cost is the cost of lunch and any souvenirs that your student wants to buy. So you do have to plan. They typically say about $20 to $30 a day for lunch. for the 4 days, which isn't bad, but you do have to remind your students to budget accordingly. And then that evening, either that evening or the next day, they get to see a Broadway show. So you see that again on the next day for day 3. They get to go to Radio City Music Hall. They get to do a MoMA visit. They are going to have dinner again. And then they end their tour on the 4th day by going to the Metro Art Museum and walking through Central Park. Once they walk through Central Park, they get to see Cherry Hill, Strawberry Fields, and the John Lennon Memorial. They get to do Belvedere Castle and the Delacorte Theater. And then at the end of that day, they will have all their stuff loaded up on their tour bus. And then they will go ahead and head back to Colorado, and we will pick them all up at the airport. So it's a lot of stuff packed into 4 days, and it's great because they have the tour directors with them the whole time. They've got the teacher chaperones with them the whole time. We don't allow parent chaperones. We don't typically get enough students. That would have to be if like everybody in 7-8 went. So the teachers are going to go with them. We're not quite sure which teachers yet want to go. And everything that is included is the round trip transportation, accommodations. They stay usually in 3 to 4 students per room of the same gender. And then the company hires people to come and watch the hotel at nighttime in the hallways. That way no one's sneaking out of rooms or getting into any trouble. The teachers who are there get to rest and have a good night's sleep knowing that there's other people chaperoning for the evenings. They get the full breakfast daily, and then they get the hearty authentic dinner daily as well. So again, the only thing that you would have to budget accordingly for would be for lunches and any souvenirs that they would want to buy. It also includes entrance to the different attractions, into all the museums. It includes the guided sightseeing tours and the full-time professional tour director. It also includes the online tour directory or diary. So if they sign up for that and they want to take pictures on their phones along the way and post those, then you can see. And then there's also the 24-hour emergency services if they need it. So there is optional travel protection plans for you. This is what all it covers. That way in case they get injured or sick and they can't go. They will not have to have their passport because they're not leaving the country. So luckily we don't have to worry about that. There's also their travel protection plan plus. So just in case you need to cancel for any reason or you're not super sure that they're going to be able to make it, maybe you have some other spring break plans, you can get that as well. So I guess you're all wondering the total cost. The total fee is $2,184, or you can break that down. They do monthly payment plans. So they have a few different options to pay here. You can see that you can pay in full in enrollment. You can do $50 down and then break it into 2 payments of 3 and into different payments and just do the first installment and then pay the rest later. They also have other payment plans, and then they have an option for you to also do fundraising. So you could post on social media. You can ask grandma, grandpa, aunts, and uncles. Between now and March, hopefully they have a birthday coming up. We've got, different holidays. So you could ask family members to contribute that way and post on social media too. So again, it's an exciting destination. They can create their lifelong memories. They can make some new friends. They get to grow and mature as a person, and it helps them to prepare for success in the future. If you would like to enroll, there is a website here. It's also in the email that I sent out, and I will share it again with this recording. It's that blue link there. It's on the Explorica website. If you have questions, they have the phone number there. If for some reason you want to complete it on paper, then they also have the option there to print it and send it in as well. And then here is a QR code and the link again. I am going to be the program leader, although I don't go on the trip with them. I usually send 2 teachers with them if we have enough, for sure 1. So hopefully we get lots of people to enroll. I'm going to share this for a minute more, and then I'm going to unshare and answer any questions that you might have. Okay, does anybody have any questions? You should be able to unmute yourselves if you do at this point. If not, and you think of it later, feel free to send me an email. I don't see any questions in the chat yet, but you guys are very welcome. I think this is a great opportunity for students. Plus, New York is so cool. It's a lot of fun. I'll wait like 1 or 2 more minutes, see if anybody else thinks of any last minute questions. They always come later. Also, go and talk to your families, see what they think, see what questions they have, let me know. Well, it doesn't look like we have any questions so far. So if people want to go ahead and give me an email, I'm Mrs. Stewart. It was great meeting with you today on this beautiful Monday morning. Hopefully you get to go outside, go enjoy the weather. Thanks. Bye.